Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your September 2020 Astrology 33 love reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm actually taking a bit of a break from those, probably for at least the next month, but if I do change my mind sooner than that, I will make an update in the community section of the channel. As far as what we have in front of us, we have Bridging the Gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest, cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. Is it past energies, present energies, future energies? Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where the Bridging the Gap dynamic comes into play. And as for the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic, and also keep in mind it's a general reading. So I'm going to refer to the cards on the left as your energy. If you feel more like your energy is represented on the cards on the right and the cards on the left represents the other person, then trust that as well. Alright, so getting started with the past energy on your side, we have the Eight of Staves. This is the Eight of Wands. It's actually Sagittarius energy, and really what this represents is usually a lot of communication, possibly even a lot of travel with this person or to this person. If that's the case, I feel like you guys probably live somewhat close to each other, because this is usually more of a short distance travel vibe that I get with this card. But yeah, at the very least, it looks like you were doing a lot of communicating with this person and expressing interest with the Wands energy there. Past energy on their side, we have the Nine of Swords. So this is actually Gemini energy, which is your opposite sign. But here I feel like this is saying that they might have felt a little bit more blocked off around their communication. So you might have felt like you were the one doing most of the talking in the situation. And I feel like, primarily it's just that they were most likely stuck in their heads. Possibly had some bad luck in previous relationships, just thinking about that black cat. And if we think about the stereotype there, right, that's what I'm really seeing here, where like they might have had that desire, but I feel like they weren't communicating it nearly as clearly or as often as you were. And like I said, probably because they had some past situations that made them a little bit more hesitant, I should say, to jump into a connection. So that's why I see there. Past energy on your side, we have the Four of Coins. So this is actually Capricorn energy here, and there's plenty of karmic energy in those last 10 degrees of Capricorn, which is what this represents. You guys have Saturn there, you have Pluto there as well. And being that this is connected to your finances, it could just be saying that, you've been putting a lot of energy into your work life and possibly even having some progress there as well. But at the same time, I feel like you're still, kind of wanting that connection with this person, because, if we see that person off in the distance there, it doesn't look like they're physically in the room with her, right? So I feel like this is just you, okay, maybe you did the traditional thing, like, okay, well, this isn't happening with this person right now, I'm just going to throw myself into my work, right? Maybe that started to give you some success, but you still have that person on your mind quite a bit. So that's what I'm seeing there. Present energy on their side, we have the Fool and we have the Hermit. So these are like almost exact opposite energies, quite frankly. The Fool represents usually just taking a risk, going out and pursuing opportunities, and then the Hermit energy is definitely more of an introspective, reflective type energy. This is the major arcana card for Virgo also. So we are in Virgo season. So it could just be saying for some of you that they are thinking about, taking that leap of faith in the connection with you. But given that this was underneath the Fool, I feel like this is saying more than anything that, they just really might second guess themselves a lot. Where maybe there is that part of them that really does want to take that shot, but then at the same time they'll think of 5 million different ways why it could go wrong, you know what I mean? Which understandably could be a bit frustrating. But so basically, it's kind of a continuation rather of the energy I see here in the past, where they might really get stuck in their heads around the situation, and talk themselves out of the connection, basically. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Three of Arrows, which is Libra energy. The Five of Coins, which is Taurus energy. and the Ten of Coins, which is Virgo energy. So I feel like what this is saying is, I feel like this is more or less saying that at a certain point you might almost start to give up hope, quite frankly, and possibly even right at around the beginning, since this isn't a future position. This representing the first 10 degrees of Libra, that's pretty much towards the end of September. Well, excuse me, represents the middle 10 degrees of Libra. So, like right around the very end of September, beginning of October, this might be the way that you're feeling. You know, just feeling like, okay, this isn't going to happen, right? Giving up hope, possibly even walking away from the connection. But with the Ten of Coins coming up here, I do see this saying that for a lot of you, this person actually will come around. I just had the feeling that the vibe that I'm getting from them all the way is that they're just really slow on making up their mind. And like I said, it probably could be just because they went through something in the past. Some of you might even be dealing with a Capricorn, since we did see that energy there. And then I see Capricorn energy in their future position, but it could just be one of those things where they were just really a lot slower getting there. And it almost feels like the second you guys start to lose hope, that's really what I'm seeing this Five of Coins as more than anything, and the Three of Swords. Not necessarily anything outwardly happening to cause you to feel this way, just more of the fact that there's a lack of something happening that makes you kind of feel like, okay, well, I guess this is over. And then it looks like you guys might actually get that commitment. And for those of you where this, like we did mention finances too, even though this is a love reading, this could be the same thing there as far as it's saying, you're really having some breakthroughs around your finances. But for the majority of you, I think this is talking about this connection with this person. And the future energy on their side, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Like I was saying, that's Capricorn energy. And then we have the Three of Wands, which is Aries energy. So, again, a pretty big contrast of energies. Like we were just saying there, that Fool is almost like a fiery type energy. And then the Hermit energy, very earthy, slow, deliberate. And then we see that kind of energy here too. This is a very slow, deliberate energy. And then that Aries energy mixing together with it. So for the majority of you, like I said, I feel like this is someone that gets way stuck in their head. They might get enthusiastic about something and want to do something, but then pull back. But here what I'm seeing is, for a lot of you, this could just be saying that this might be how they're viewing you right now. They might be like, they might see, okay, well, they're really focused on their finances right now. And, that could even be kind of what happens with them. They finally get up the nerve, like, okay, yeah, I'm totally going to do this. And then they'll see the slightest thing to help them talk themselves out of it, right? Like, oh, okay, well, it looks like they're busy with work. Forget it. I won't even do it, But with the Three of Wands energy here, this does say to me that you guys actually will get back on track. Now, they might actually still be waiting for you to take action, because the Three of Wands energy usually does represent waiting for your ships to come in, but it also represents things finally coming together, after a long wait. And here we almost see like the autumn type environment in the background with the leaves and everything. So yeah, for a lot of you, keep an eye out for that Aries full moon, which will be right at the very beginning of October. I would say that might be when you guys actually finally see some movement in this connection. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Queen of Staves. So this is actually Aries energy, which for you guys is your fifth house of romance, creativity. And of course, since you guys are also fire, this could just represent your energy in general. But to me, this says that you're confident, ready to take action. At the very least, it looks like that was the case in the past, right? But I feel like you might just be getting a little discouraged around the situation. And, to be fair, part of what this could be too, you have Mars moving through Aries, which is your fifth house, but it's also pretty much for most of September, it's going to be in a square aspect with Saturn. So that could be part of what it is too, where it just makes you really feel that delay, like, okay, I'm ready to do it, I'm ready to take action, but then that Capricorn energy could really just be restricting it, So that's probably what's at play there. So I don't think this is anything that's going to take, an extended period of time. It'll probably feel that way for you guys, especially because, like I said, to be fair, I don't tend to take sides in these readings, but this person really seems like they're moving slow. Like I said, it doesn't look like they probably had something that maybe even repeated experiences in their past that made them that way. But yeah, I'll just say I feel your pain in that regard. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Ace of Swords. So this usually represents at the very least, the desire to want to communicate. So, I feel like at the very least, this is saying that the light bulb is going to go off for them this month. Again, whether they come out flat out and say how they're feeling, that's a little bit more iffy. And interestingly enough, my eyes were drawn to the next card underneath that, and it's the Knave of Chalices. So this is actually the equivalent of the Page of Cups. And if you look at the artwork there, it's like someone who looks like they're trying to write a love letter, right? And they're just crumbling up the paper. It looks like they're tried over and over. So this, again, I feel like this is someone that really just gets stuck in their head. I feel like they definitely do have interest, but getting them to actually come out and say it is a whole other story. But we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. So first we'll look at the Mystic Moon Oracle deck here, and I did pre-shuffle this deck. What we're looking for is just some jumpers. So first I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if we shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, I'll just take that as a sign to move on to the next Oracle deck, since it's just a general reading. Alright, so here we go. Like I said, first we'll look for unspoken messages from you to them. Okay, nothing coming up there, but next we'll see if we get any unspoken messages from them to you. Nope, got one, okay. Alright. It says, it's easier to just stay away right now. I mean, yeah, this person's difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what else to even say about it. But yeah, so I don't know what their deal is there. I don't see that anything negative happened between the two of you. You know what I mean? I don't think that this was them feeling that way about something you did specifically. But yeah, I think you're just gonna have to be patient with this person. Like I said, I do feel like they'll come around, possibly, like I said, maybe around the time of that Aries full moon, early October. But yeah, it looks like you're gonna have to be patient at the very least this month, from what I'm seeing. Maybe you'll check out the reading for their sign, maybe get a little more insight on the situation. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, all right. So finally, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card with general advice, and we'll wrap up. All right. So see what we get. Alright, nothing's coming up, so worst case, if I shuffle for a little longer, nothing comes up, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull a random card. Alright, yeah, so let me put the deck down for a minute. And we'll just pick a card randomly. Okay, we'll go here. Alright, we have Mending. There's the artwork, and the number is 52. I mean, just going off that word alone, I guess it is possible that for some of you, maybe there was something that happened that went wrong, and maybe that's why they are staying away, why they're withdrawn. But I didn't necessarily pick up on that, but we'll see what the messages say for that. Okay, it says forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. The Oracle's message. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. So definitely an interesting message there, and like I said, for some of you, maybe that really is what happened here. Like I didn't see a clear indicator of that, but maybe that is why they withdrew for some of you. Maybe there was some kind of argument that you guys had. I don't know. And that could even be what that Three of Arrows is in the future position on your part, where maybe you were just kind of trying to not look at that situation and address it directly, but looks like you guys can definitely get things back together, but it's just going to take a little patience, like I said. The relationship message says you've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. So, interesting message there. I mean, like I said, for those of you, if you really did, if there was some kind of falling out that you guys had in the past, then yeah, it looks like the energy in that regard is saying that you might need to come forward to correct things. But I mean, in that event, I'll actually just read the protection message too, just in case. Usually that's only a message you would read if the card came out in reverse, but maybe there's an extra message in there too. So we'll go with that. It says, heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Our grief strips away our mask and loosens our tight hold on our separateness, where we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme, opening us up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. And it leads us to become one with the greater whole again. Pain and suffering is part of life, and none of us will be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain, this dissonance as a way back to source? Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. You will never be left behind. You are loved, now more than ever, by a spirit who does not want you to feel alone. One day you will look back and know this is truth. All right. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. Like I said, it looks like there's definitely going to be patience needed at the very least with this person, because it definitely seems like they're moving slow. Initially, I didn't see anything that you had directly did that caused that, but I just felt like they maybe had disappointments in general. But yeah, whether it's related to you directly or not, like I said, a little patience and you might be able to get things back on track. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.